ANC?
Well, during my term as a president in 2004, I think it was Helen. Helen Clark, our Prime Minister, have asked for community groups to put a submission on on managing the settlement support project. And so I wrote a letter at that time, and I passed it on to my predecessors, Odogwu, which is a linguistic teacher, and also Gerald Wong. And through their help, we were able to get the contract. And we're one of the 5 cities in New Zealand. In New Zealand, we're able to get the contract, but our one is a unique one because we are managed by NGO, not the city council. We are the only one that were managed by NGO. And so my role as a president at that time, I was constantly teased by the federation. Oh, your society has lots of money. Can you give us? And I said, no. I said no, because it's not for us. It was entrusted to us to do projects towards people who are sitting in the community. So with Gerald's astute management of money, we're able to continue the project for about 3 years, and it was a good opportunity for me to connect with different government organizations like MSD and also police, because they're involved in the advisory group, and also ATC and LP and hospital board. There was one member there, and St. John's at that time. So it was a good exposure of the multicultural Manawatu. And I remembered one time a lady from Auckland flew to Palmerston North and talked to me on how to start the multicultural center. And I said, because we are very unique in the whole country to have our own center. The other cities don't have a center. It's just like a drop-in center but no staff. They just meet. They just meet once a month, and they just have language classes. But to have a permanent place where they can come and have a cup of coffee and have a language classes, they don't have that. They have that in different places. So we were really unique at that time. So I was appointed as project manager and been paid only for 10 hours for a 40 hours job or more than that. And I have to initiate project, to think of project just on how to help the migrants settle, like orientation with the police, orientation with hospital system and everything. So, and after about 6 months of doing the project, we were able to appoint a coordinator, and I was like a mother to the coordinator. And because it was such a demanding role, after 2 years I said, I think it's time for me to step down and let other people experience it. So yeah, it was a good exposure, and also at that time it was also followed by a project called Newcomers Network. Yeah.
I think that's great, Meriam, and I thank you on behalf of our community for the work that you've done here in Palmerston, especially. You've done a wonderful job. You're a very lucky man, Lou. Well done.
I know.
Oh, is he still there, is he? Well done, well done, well done. Okay. Anne, you've been involved in quite a few community projects here in Palmerston. Have you got any that have meant something special to you, or that you've been involved with in your time here?
Well, I was involved in the World on Stage right from the very first one. And
how long has that been going for, Anne? Do you know?
oh gosh. Every other year. Since 2011.
2011, that's
We
great.
had
So
the
that's
first one.
at least 7 probably every
Yes.
2 years, so well done.
And I thought of contacting the Polish people in Wellington, and they came up and they did Polish dances for us, wearing their Polish costumes. But then after about the third time, Tania Kopitko took over, and she didn't think that we should invite people from other centres because it was the Palmerston North City Council financing us. And we used to have the Greeks, but I got very tired of them, especially the last time they came. They'd go around to the local Greek society and eat with them. So then they never arrived back at the theatre to do their turn on time. And I was sitting in the audience wondering, well, where are my Greeks? Anyway, they finally came. And the other one is the songs one, and I've loved that too. And with, I wasn't in the first one because we had a arthritis group. We did a children on stage program, and so that was with all different national children. And so I missed out on the very first songs one, but since then I've been to every one, and they are very good too because people do their national ones. The Chinese had a children's group, little children, about 5 to 7 or so, and they did very interesting ones with their mothers standing with them. Yeah, the mothers supported them. So they were very good. And our last one, we had the Muslims taking part because it was the first one that we didn't have in a Catholic church because we had them at the cathedral for 2 or 3 times, and then we had them at St Mary's Church for a few times. But the last one, we actually had Boys High in their theatre.
Spears Centre.
Yeah, Spears Centre, which is very good. I was a bit disappointed because it still didn't fill up. And it's such an interesting program to, have the ones of all different nations singing in their own languages and that. But also I am the president of the Scandinavian Club, so we do our bit of we learned to cook Danish style, etc. So it is, and also had some Italian cooking as well. But I think that's about.
That's a good thing. You didn't bring any Danish scones this afternoon, I suppose.
I don't think the Danes have scones.
Wasn't that what you said your name? Scones?
No.
Oh, wasn't it? Sorry, I have my hearing aids, I'm sorry about that.
I learned to make the Danish Christmas pudding, which I love, and have introduced it to others who also like it. Because it's a boiled rice pudding in milk, and then when it's, you take it off and let it cool down so that you can add vanilla and whipped cream to it.
Oh, we're looking forward to that, aren't we? We'll have another day where we have special food from Bhutan.
Well, it's amazing to think that Denmark, being a cold country at Christmas time, they have the cold pudding. And New Zealanders are busy eating hot puddings.
We're a bit strange here sometimes. That's okay, we do that. But thank you for your efforts as well too. I think last year was the World on Stage, wasn't it? So there'll be a gap for that this year. But Songs of Praise is going to be held in September. So watch out for that, because I think we need to fill the stadium up.
Yes.
And we have such fantastic acts up there from the different countries. So look forward to that. Put it in your diary when you find out when it is, and we'll see you along there for that, which is really good. So Chuda, can you describe a specific success story or a moment from the work that highlights the positive outcomes from your efforts into the refugee settlement programs, and also for the age concern?
Yeah, there are a few things still going on that we started after resettling in Palmerston North. One of the things is English language classes is still running on, so where the other people can come and take a participation. Not only learning English, they can at least get involved and just exposed to the wider community. The other thing is to keep the connection with the elderly people. We have started running the children classes. So we do have our own language classes. We run once a week, 2 hours. We call it the Nepali school. So our children are learning our own language. We have registered to the Ministry of Education, and we are getting some funding from Ministry of Education. So we have been learning that for about 9-10 years. So that is still going on. And some of the issues we raised and that I advocate and started using is driving classes for the newcomers. And
some experience the same things that Mohammad does there?
Yes, because we came from the same background as a refugee. Yeah. I started teaching driving when English language partner was established. We set up a class of 30 hours for the people, those who wants to learn license, they can come so that I can translate in the different language so they can learn the driving. And I used to go and translate for them in different languages. I can speak 3-4 languages. So many people, they got the license. Those who still come and say thank you, still now they are remembered.
Do you get big involvement from the other cultures and other countries as well too in that program you do?
Yes, I involved in the Red Cross National Office for 5 years. I work as a board member. So I also work for the refugee resettlement strategy, making the strategy. I'm on the focus group, so we raise there what are the issues, what are the issues need to be addressed, what are the most important things. We set up like 5 is most important: health, housing, employment, and language. So we set up that boundaries. So I worked with the national resettlement manager in Lakat. So I have been attending summit for many of the times, so we learned much from him as well.
That's great. You're a very busy man by the sound of the things you're doing, so well done for that.
Yeah, I involved most of the activities that I got opportunity because my intention was to get busy and learn more things about the new countries. So I involved government's training, how to get the government's training, how to run the communities, what are the system here. And we did the training for the Treaty of Waitangi. What are the rules and norms in the Treaty of Waitangi? What is written there? Why it is important? We took a part in that well-being in the community, welcoming community. So I have been involved in like a parenting program, how to raise the children in our community because we came from the different environment. So we are here in different environments, so that makes the differences. So I used to get involved in a wide range of things in the past. Yeah.
He is a man of involvement by the sound of it. If you need anything, go and see Chuda. He's got it organised there. He's got it going on. It's great.
Yeah, my door is still open for most of the people, those who need help. Still now, I have got set up an office in my room. I will get nearly 5 to 10 people each day, those who come to me to get help for the paperwork, sometimes to make the document, how to apply citizen, birth certificate, and so on.
So So you said before that you were the first one of your countrymen to come to New Zealand. How many countrymen and ladies have we now in New Zealand from your country?
There are 856 people in Palmerston now, 86 people in Findlay. So we have 210 houses altogether in the Manawatu region. We have got nearly 200 people in Nelson and 300 people in Christchurch.
So that's good. They're spreading around the country.
Yes, we are spread.
Yes. That's good. So well done for that and for the work you're doing as well too.
Thank you.
That is excellent. So Meriam, back to you. Are there any specific community projects or activities that you've been involved with that meant something special to you? I know you were talking about being the president and some of the other things. Is there anything else that you maybe haven't mentioned yet?
Well, when I first got involved in 1997 and in 1999, I was asked to be involved in the potluck dinner. We have before the Golden Stage, we used to have a multicultural potluck dinner where we also have performances, and that was just modified after Alan Young became the president. We modified the performances and the dinner, and the potluck dinner was being looked forward by everyone in the community because it's the night wherein you can taste all the different food for $5 entrance. Everyone who are participating we're asked to bring a dish and label it, and also put the background on how to cook it and why it was. And I still remember the time when I invited Anne. That was my first time to meet her, and pull her to get involved with multicultural Manawatu because she cooked this okra dish.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and the Nigerian dish. And so it's because of my background in food and nutrition. I like food, and also food is a conversational starter, and through that we had it in different places. One in Life Church, and we had the guitarists come, and all the police and everyone comes. They really look forward to taste different dishes from different countries, and for $5. And we get sponsors from businesses here like Davis Trading, Pioneer New World, and that's how I was able to use that connection in my fundraising. And also I used the potluck dinner as for when we were asked to start something for the Newcomers Network, and I said we will have a potluck dinner for everyone, every nationality. And at that time I had it my purpose was to have it in different homes, but the current president at that time, no, we'll have it at the center. And I said, okay. So I had it at home, and there were about 40 or 55 people came to my house and it was good because we had all different dishes and we got to know more of each other, and it's just not.
How many do you get coming to them now?
Oh, heaps, 100 now, because, and we have it we can have it in the center because it's too small for us, so I think we'll have it in the lecture center on the 28th of this month.
28th of this month?
Yeah, so we made it a monthly one now. The once a year that I used to have was only once a year, but we have a performance, and it would start from 6 o'clock and sometimes starts at finish at 11 o'clock because depends on the performers who choose to perform, because sometimes they get so carried away on performing. So
that's good. So how do people go to that? Is it like by invite or is
No, it's free for everyone. Yeah. So So if you are free on July 28, on March 28th, I'm inviting you to the potluck dinner at the leisure center. Bring a dish or yeah.
Sounds like a good place to go.
Yes, the night before Good Friday. Yeah, it's the night before Good Friday, so before your fast.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea. So once again, you've been involved in something else, so that is very good. Thank you for that. Mohammad, how did you go about establishing connections and forming your community in New Zealand? How did you approach people? How did you get to know people?
Our community here in 332 person in Palmerston North. And I write one strategy for our community involved to every team. For example, I have now volleyball team, basketball team, soccer team. Every week, 2-3 hours, I have training for that, and I have another plan for the education, Farsi class, our language. That's I have a lot of plan for involve our community in another ethnic group. I don't know, I can't or can, because this now is planned, now it started. The volleyball team, 6 months now is training, and the basketball team is more than 10 months. The Farsi class is maybe 2 months now started. That's our strategy for our community. Join with another ethnic community. And another one for the new person want learning driving. I put every new family come one supervisor. Have 2 years ago he takes the 4 lessons, and he have time 1 hour, 2 hour day teaching the new family. This another plan. Another plan is this for swimming pool. The new family doesn't have car, can't driving. The old family, I found it one volunteer for another family. Each new family have another one volunteer. He pick it up, going the swimming pool and bring it back at home. This the new plan. I don't know. I can't continue or no.
And also carrying on from that, you discussed a lot of the cultural differences that you found from your own country and then coming to New Zealand. Chuda, was it a big change to adjust to maybe the cultural differences between your country and New Zealand? And were they easily overcome, or are they still sort of barriers for you?
It's very hard to say to make a change, because for the new generation they can, but for the elderly generation we can't make a change. So still there are some barriers, like with the teenagers. When the new generation became the teenager, it's very hard to explain for our grandparents as well as the teenagers, like the cultural things. In our culture, we don't have the partner system, boyfriend-girlfriend system. We don't have it. And our generation, like our grandparents, they don't like it. But the teenager, they come to her, oh, this is my girlfriend, this is my boyfriend. So it is very hard to mediate between the grandparents and the teenager. So there are still some barriers to work out how we can make the understanding or understandable between the older generation and the new generations.
So do you think this might be a problem in the future as we go through, you know, your countrymen's generations in New Zealand and we look forward? Do you think those cultural things will disappear, or will there be enough interest within those young people coming through now to pass it on to their children and their children?
There will be some mediator between them. We still to work out, and I think some of the things we are able to keep on, and some of the things we might miss that when we miss the older generation. Most of our elderly people, they are dying every year. So when they passed away, elderly people, we are losing every our values and norms they have, and they pass to us. So we are trying how to keep those values and norms of our culture, how we can share to our younger generations. So we are trying to do some activities to carry on those activities and those values and norms to pass to our young generation.
And I think that's great, and I think we see that with a lot of the cultures too. There's a lot of the continuation of clubs and things that keep them interested in where they come from and their heritage as well too.
Yeah, we are doing that.
So, as far as you're concerned, Dan, how do you navigate and maintain your cultural identity with the diverse countries you've lived in, and you've had different cultures before you settled here in New Zealand?
I returned to New Zealand when 2 weeks before the terrible plane crash in Antarctica. I returned with my son, who was only 8 weeks old. It's been nice having the Scandinavian society and mixing with the Scandinavians, but now we are getting to the point because most of our first generation of Scandinavians who came to New Zealand arrived in the 1870s. So it means that, that it's sort of dying out in a way, the connection with Scandinavian countries. Some like myself might be very interested in it. And we've got Val Burr, who has written 2 very good history books about the local Scandinavians and their descent. We weren't part of that because our people seem to, they first of all settled in Featherston for a year, and the first baby born to them was born there. But she only lived to about 20, and she finished up with TB and was in the Palmerston North Hospital for 6 months, and is now buried at the front of the Napier Road Cemetery where no one knows who they are because they were poor people. So they just buried them right next to each other. They didn't worry about distinguishing them or anything. And it crossed my mind that I think our grandparents would still have had 4 or 5 children at school at the time and help them where they were living then. So to come to Palmerston North would have probably been a major effort. Though I did read that Holcomb was the restaurant for the trains. And they used to have about 20 trains passing through Holcomb, which I was very amazed at. And they also had about 4 schools. So you don't think of that place having so many. So that's where they went, and that's when my grandfather became a New Zealander in Holcomb. And I said to someone, it's strange because they were determined from the time they arrived in New Zealand that they would adopt the English language and everything. But it was pointed out to me that when you were foreigners, you had to wait about 20 years before you could become a New Zealander. And it used to be entered in the
Changed it a little bit.
parliamentary gazette. Yeah, they had changed it now. My husband became a New Zealander within about 3 years. And he was Nigerian, so I don't know what they would have done with him then. So now we have, in my direct line,